Hello, this is a very quick update for Hurricane Kiko in the Central Pacific, so we won't elaborate much today on the rest of North America, but we needed to make this because Hurricane Kiko will pass north of Hawaii, but it's quite close, right, as you can see here. So it's still a hurricane, some hurricane force winds, but is forecast to pass north of Hawaii and then as a tropical storm later this week. So let's see here. There's some important key messages. Kiko is forecast to pass north of the Hawaiian Islands Tuesday and Wednesday, while the risk of direct impacts on the islands continues to decrease. Interest there to monitor the progress. Swells generated by Kiko are expected to gradually build and forecast to peak along the east face exposure of the Hawaiian Islands late today for the middle of the week, potentially producing life-threatening rip currents and surf. Listen to the latest updates and potential high surf warnings from National Weather Service in Honolulu, Hawaii. So be careful there. And here it might pass fairly close, especially by Wednesday. The risk of some gusty winds and rip currents. So stay safe in those areas. The Atlantic, there are no areas still. That disturbance that on our last video said there could be a tropical storm in the Caribbean. Nearly 24 hours after I uploaded the video, the disturbance was at 0%. So it was like crazy. Dry air just got in and finished everything. But here, there's the European model, there's still the predominant Azores high, and still some semi-low pressures near the US East Coast from some fronts, but nothing too crazy. Later, the European, this is the GFS, not the European, the GFS tries to spin up something in the Gulf and east of the Bahamas 300 hours out, but this is too far, so let's not worry about it yet. There's the European, just for context, it shows a few tropical waves disturbances, but still nothing to worry about. So basically, if you are in the Atlantic, just focus on those regular showers and storms and be careful with occasional heavy rains, especially in Mexico, central to eastern Mexico, more than 100 millimeters. So just be careful there in case of flash flooding, and in Florida as well, places 1 to 4 inches in a few areas. So be careful. This is 5 days out, and Guatemala as well is Central American. There are some Pacific fronts are affecting spots southern Alaska during this week into next week, so be aware there as well. So be careful, and still no threat for the Atlantic, but still there's a hint that later in September to October, but still next 7 days, nothing expected. Just in the Eastern Pacific area, 50% chance. So the GFS and the other models, they do have this forming in a couple of days just east of Mexico. It should head out to sea, but better just watch it in case of some heavy rains nearby as well. So just watch it. And here, uh, let's see something. Let's for the later tropics. So in the end of September into October, they still expect here like 20 to 40% chance of tropical development Central Atlantic, even to the Gulf, less than a 20% chance. So still watching this area until like September 17th and until the 23rd. So just keep an eye on it for the end of the month. They still have some probabilities this week, but very low. Today's Monday, so this will be updated tomorrow, Tuesday. And this was updated last Tuesday, so you'll be updated tomorrow. So just be aware, there's still some severe weather today in the US, especially some large hail and some wind and a tornado too. So be careful, marginal risk there in Minnesota as well, but the main stuff from Texas to Kansas. So be careful. They choose still a margin on the plains, high plains, and yeah, so stay safe and monitor your local weather forecast for coming changes. Still quite hot in the southwestern US, but in general, some cooler temperatures, especially at night throughout Canada and a few spots in the Rockies and Northeast, but still warm in the south, even during the day, still in a few spots, southern Canada. So yeah, and still like 5 days rain, still shows the front in Alaska there, and a few storms in spots of Canada, but not that much. The 5 day accumulation does show like spots in the plains in the US, a few showers, and maybe Quebec and Ontario, some showers, especially in Alaska, spots in northwestern Canada. So be careful in Hawaii with this system passing north of you and stay safe.